happened to you. Every year it's the same thing. The cold comes right through my windows. I put this bubble wrap up and it does nothing. I hate it, but what else can I do?
I'm Christina with Indow, here to talk about making your world more comfortable, efficient, and sustainable. Bubble wrap and saran wrap have their place in your kitchen drawer. We're here to talk about how to take extreme heat and cold and keep it out when it comes knocking at your door or window. Welcome to How to Insulate Windows.
Was that too bubbly?
We're going to talk about lots of topics like this in upcoming videos. So if you want to learn more about how to insulate windows, how to soundproof windows, or how Indow inserts work with all different types of windows, subscribe now. Let's go to the basics. Your house is a shell from the outside weather. We call this the building envelope. Different materials in this envelope transmit heat differently. Glass does not have a high thermal conductivity, meaning there is a high amount of heat loss through the windows. But a wall, for example, won't produce the same amount of heat loss, and a wall with insulation would produce even less, so it keeps you warmer. All right, so what to do about the windows, right? Well, glass has a low insulation value and a high thermal conductivity. So we decided to use acrylic for our inserts. This is going to have a lower thermal conductivity due to the thickness that we use, and will be warmer to the touch. The other great thing is acrylic actually has a higher visibility than glass does, so you won't have any obstructed view out of your window. But there's an experiment that we can do to demonstrate this thermal conductivity difference. You can actually do this at home too. All right, so all you need to do is get 2 cups, one of them made from acrylic, like the ones at picnics, and the other made from glass. Then just fill them up with ice water. And feel the difference.
This one is so cold in my hands. I need a koozie.
Right? So the acrylic is going to have better thermal conductivity and take longer to make your hand cold. So there's just one thing that can make this better. When we install Indow inserts, there is a pocket of air that is formed in between your original window and the insert. This adds additional insulation value. So, much like this cup, which is double walled insulation with acrylic, check that out.
I finally get it.
Now that's a cup you can hold on to all day. Have you ever heard of mean radiant room temperature? Don't get scared off by the name, it's just the average surface temperatures of everything in the space. We talked about materials as single components, but mean radiant room temperature gives us the combined effectiveness of all the materials in insulating a room to give you your perceived temperature. So, if you have a higher ratio of glass windows to an insulated wall, then your room is always going to have a lower temperature. It is really the temperature you feel in a room. That's why a thermostat never seems to match your perception. Thermostats only control your heating system. It explains why the thermostat might read 70 degrees, but the person sitting next to a single pane window needs a parka, and the person sitting next to the heater is wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Now, we arrive at the perplexing experiment of window inserts and energy use. We knew that these window inserts would save on energy, but we didn't know by how much. We brought our conundrum to Portland State University's Green Building Research Laboratory. Their computer models predicted a 10% reduction in energy use, but the in-home and lab testing showed a 20% reduction in energy use. It all comes back to the surface temperature of the windows. Because the inserts raise the surface temperature so much, it increased the mean radiant room temperature. So people in these test homes felt more comfortable overall. Thermostat stayed low, and so did energy use. Remember this concept of mean radiant room temperature? This is going to completely depend on your space and your existing building envelope. Do you have insulation in your walls? Do you have single pane windows? And does your attic have insulation? First, consider all the surfaces in your space and their insulation values. Then, consider your budget and do a cost-benefit analysis. You can use the U.S. Department of Energy's calculator to determine how much you will save based on current home insulation and the makeup. We have a link for that in the description. You also don't have to insulate every single window. Just start with the coldest, draftiest rooms or those that you host company in. Thanks for tuning in to How to Insulate Windows. Remember, we're window experts. You can ask us anything in the comments below or in the live chat on the site.
If you like not being wrapped up in bubble wrap,
Or being comfortable in your own house,
like and subscribe. They are super good with house stuff and you can nail it right the first time.
see you next time.